Hello, my name is Kevin Miller. I'm the president of Blue Edge Consulting. We are a Microsoft Cloud computing partner and a member of the prestigious Cloud Champions Club. This is the first assignment for Never Stop Marketing to the Cloud. My story, on-premise or the cloud, a history lesson, a quick historical retrospective about another technology that went through a major evolution. It wasn't that long ago that manufacturers relied upon water wheels and horses to generate power. A new invention in the mid-1800s was the steam engine. Factories quickly adopted this new technology. It enabled companies to be located away from rivers and streams. However, it was quite expensive to operate. At the turn of the century, companies started replacing their steam engines with the latest technology, the electric generator. It was simpler, cleaner, and easier to control. Unfortunately, it was expensive to implement. First, companies had to sacrifice previous investments in steam or water. They had to install a dynamo, run wire throughout the plant, and retrofit all of their machines to run electric motors. By 1905, electric generators were commonplace. GE and Westinghouse produced electrical systems that made them more affordable for everyone. Manufacturers continued to build their own on-premise power generating systems. Very few factories bought their electricity from small local central stations. They just did not want to entrust such a critical business operation to an outsider. Any glitch in their power supply would bring their operation to a halt. In the early 1900s, there were over 50,000 private electric plants and only 3,600 central stations. Then came a man named Samuel Insull, who was Thomas Edison's right-hand man. He quickly became one of GE's most powerful executives at a young age. But he had a dream that was different from his bosses and mentor, Thomas Edison. Insull had a vision of a large electrical utility company that could provide electricity to all homes and businesses at a low cost, a true general purpose technology. His biggest challenge was to convince industrial businesses that they should stop producing their own power and instead buy their electricity from a central plant. At that time, factories producing their own electricity was deeply embedded in the heritage of manufacturing. These factories also maintain the powerful and growing electrical industry. Insull was able to realize his dream with the advancement of transmission technology, where electricity could be consolidated in immense central stations that could meet the needs of even the largest companies. Utilities' superior economies of scale could produce electricity much more efficiently and cheaper than companies could achieve with their own private dynamos. Insull bought many small central stations operating in Chicago. His goal in building a monopoly was not to raise prices, but to gain scale to cut prices and attract more customers. One major aspect to achieve his dream was marketing. Insull launched an aggressive campaign to attract companies to purchase electricity from his utility and do away with their on-premise power generation systems. He set up a downtown electric shop to include industrial machines running with electric motors. He advertised every major new industrial company that he signed up. He used his influence to plant raving articles in trade publications, and he focused on drilling home the message that he could provide reliable power cheaper than they could on their own. His marketing campaign worked, and manufacturers flocked to Chicago Edison for their electricity needs. Some of his customers previously ran some of the largest on-premise electrical generation plants in Chicago. By acquiring more customers, he was able to continue to push down prices. Manufacturers soon realized that it was more than just cheap kilowatts. They did not have to purchase expensive electrical producing equipment, and they were able to reduce their fixed costs and free up capital for more productive purposes. They were able to reduce corporate staff, plus eliminate the need for technology updates and minimize the risk of malfunctions. Additionally, they relieved their managers of a major distraction. The switch from Private power to utility power progressed rapidly. In 1907, utilities had 30% of the U.S. electricity production. By 1930, they had over 80%. Thanks to Samuel Insull, the age of private power plants was over. This little story was gleaned from Nicholas Carr's book, The Big Switch. Fast forward 100 years from the electricity revolution. With the advancement of virtualization and broadband technologies in the IT industry and the resultant cloud computing systems, when will companies no longer need on-premise computing power? 2011 is a pivotal year in the growth of cloud computing, and I predict it will move very, very quickly, just like the dramatic change in the electrical industry 100 years ago. So why do I do what I do? Well, I want to be like Samuel Insull, at the forefront of a technology evolution and provide businesses with advanced computing technology at the least cost without the worry of complex on-premise technology. And before I finish, just one more prediction. Thanks, and go Steelers.